The fact that we could be looking at the biggest increase in inequality globally in 100 years, right? That is potentially what we're looking at. And if we take a look at some of these numbers and show how the rich, the wealthier, have actually done pretty well for themselves, and you pause to think about what happened to the poor in India. Consider this, 170,000 people lost their job every hour in April 2020. 170,000 lost jobs every hour in that one first month of the lockdown. Unemployment for women rose by 15%. Women have been especially hardest hit, and that could knock out 8%. That could hit 8% of India's GDP potentially. And no one has actually paused to reflect on how women have been amongst the sort of sharper sufferers. 8 in 10 households saw a decline in income. We're only just beginning to hear these stories. It could take a while longer before the full aftermath of this is actually felt. And if you pause to consider the fact that India's rich only in fact got richer, and can we have that next set of graphics, that the wealth of Indian billionaires, what happened to Indian billionaires? The wealth of Indian billionaires actually increased by 35%. How did that happen? And will they heed this moment in history and do their bit? What about India's richest man, among the world's richest men, Mukesh Ambani? Mukesh Ambani's wealth rose by 75%. If you can wrap your head around that, 75% in this year of the pandemic. So what we're really looking at is a much more unequal country, a much more unequal world. This is not, of course, unique to India. This has happened globally. But what is unique to India is, I think, what we saw happen with the migrant workers and that, the transient workers who work in the city and live in the villages, and we're only just understanding what's happening to them. Amitabh, what leaps out for you in this report, in this research, that you think people didn't understand it? I mean, I called out one of the things, the media cliche was, oh, the virus knows sees no barriers. The virus saw all the barriers. The virus played out according to those barriers.
Thank you, Barkha, for doing those ground reports. And intuitively, as you could figure out from your ground reports, I think many of us were very aware of the unequal impact of this virus on people. What really stands out is the amount of wealth the super rich, the billionaires have made despite the virus, and how we've really not acknowledged it. You gave the Indian figures. Let me just give you a couple of global figures. That globally, the top 10 billionaires have actually added $500 billion to their kitty. $500 billion. Mm-hmm. The top 1,000 billionaires, within 9 months, they did take a hit initially, but recovered. Whereas now every study, every report is telling us that the poor, ordinary people will take at least a decade to come back to pre-pandemic level. I think that's the real story. That's the differential recovery that we're looking at. The top ones, within 9 months, are back, and few are making huge profits. And on the other hand, you're looking at a mass of billions of people who are not able to get food on their table and will need at least a decade to come back to where they were in February, March 2020. That's the real story. That people are not really talking about.
You're going to say that the poor are going to take 10 years to come back to pre-pandemic level. 10 years.
10 years. And this is not just the Oxfam study. Even the World Bank has recently come up with this study, where they clearly say that it is going to take a decade for ordinary people to come back to pre-pandemic levels.
Wow. What really leapt out to me is how well our billionaires did in this time. The fact that the jobs were being lost at the pace that they were, I was witnessing firsthand. I, of course, had no exposure to how the rich were doing. If we can just take another look at that set of graphics on how India's billionaires, their wealth increased by 35%. And, just to take one example, this has happened with Jeff Bezos in America, it's happened with Ambani in India. Individually, the wealthy actually did very well. Amitabh, how do we make sense of the fact that when the economy was ravaged, when the country was in lockdown, the billionaires continued to grow? Was it the nature of their business, or was it just that they were so rich? And there's a dissonance in India with the Sensex hitting 50,000. It's like two parallel nations.
Absolutely. Barkha, the big message I would say is that at least now with this story, with the graphic that you've just shown, people must recognize that a huge number of billionaires is not a sign of economic success. I would
Correct.
actually say it is a sign of economic failure. As in, if during pandemic, with what we have seen, if you're seeing people making huge amount of wealth, as in just imagine, our richest man Mukesh Ambani was making 90 crores every hour. That's the level of wealth they were adding to
90
their
crores every hour. 90 crores
every
every hour. I mean, I'm one of those who finds it difficult to know how many zeros there are in a crore. So I need to wrap my head around this figure. 90
but
crores
it is
every
90
hour.
crores every hour. And that's the same time when 24% of Indian population was living with 3,000 rupees a month. So, just look at the contrast. Sure, it is about the nature of business, but it is essentially about a rigged system. It's a rigged economic system which lines the pockets of the super rich and the billionaires. So it's so rigged in favor of the billionaires.